All right, hope you guys had a nice conversation. Got to meet some folks from the other teams. When we go back out onto the floor, just as a reminder, you're going to go actually back to your original tables for your and work with your team. If anybody wanted to share anything from your conversations over the last half hour, you can do it one of two ways. You can just chat me or Pornima or Karen and say you want to talk to everyone, or if you want to just throw something in the Q&A, I can then share it with the entire group. So you can do that while I'm introducing this next piece. So the next part of the planning is to actually start to lay out a path for what are the things that you need to do in order to meet your project goals. And so we just call this, it's just task planning, but um, it's, I don't know if that's the right word for it, but it's really sort of making sure that we assign critical things that have to happen when we start our plan to people and to a timeline. And so in your folder is a document that looks something like this for task planning. And this is the one that you'll just sort of use as a guide. So I just want to sort of orient you to how this is set up. So what we've done is break this up into two pieces. So if you're planning to create a brand new course, that would be sort of the first section here. But if you scroll down, you'll see a similar table, but it's set up for if you're just modifying an existing course. And for each of the tables, what we've done is we've highlighted the three tasks that the Curry community has determined as being the three most critical that have to be accomplished in order to meet your goals. So that may not be true for everybody, though. So what we're going to ask you to do is, as you look at these tables, is take a look at the tasks, and if they're not important to you, you'll be able to sort of rate those. But at the bottom, we also have other, because there may be things that you have to accomplish that as a task that's not listed here, and so you want to add those. So for criticality, which is the first column, that's where you're just sort of giving this a number. And if I scroll down to the bottom, you'll see sort of the scale here. So there may be some of these things may not be important at all. You can just skip them, right? So you can throw that as a 1, and then you can kind of read through this. But if you put a 5 next to it, that would be something that you would need to do. And if you didn't do it, your project development would just end immediately, right at that point. So you can kind of give that each of those a number. Then the second column is who's going to be taking the lead on making sure that task gets accomplished. This doesn't have to be a single person. You could actually have several people in here. This may seem obvious, but it's really important that whoever you put in that box is aware of it. So if you're tasking something to someone at your institution who's not currently on your team, it might be a good idea while we're thinking about it and while we're in our meeting to just shoot them an email and or a text or whatever, just to let them know. Because we've had in the past where people have been assigned a task and that person doesn't even know about it, and then so obviously it didn't get accomplished. And then the last thing on here is a timeline for completion. You can put a range of dates. You could put a hard date. You could put a semester or however you want to do that. And again, this is where we can say, all right, something's really important. We have a person who's in charge of it, and we know that person's going to take care of that really important thing. And here's when they're going to actually be doing that. A question: will we be getting a list of participants in the workshop? Yes, you will. We can make that available. So while I'm thinking about it, Karen and Purnima, I don't know if you just wanted to, if we have a list of, I guess, just names and institutions that we could just put into the Google Drive. So you'll have from now until about 10:40, and then you've got a 10-minute break. If you don't finish this piece, there is another block of time after we go over the evaluation plan this morning, so you will have time to come back to this. So don't worry that if you're going through it, you feel like we got to the end and you weren't able to complete it, because you will have some time to actually finish up this or any other part of the plan that you've been working on. You'll have that session to do that. So if you have any questions, obviously, again, you can come find us at the help desk. And so getting back together with your teams and hopefully a nice warm or hot cup of coffee, and then you can start working through this. And it looks like contacts too, please. Um, we'll see what we can pull together on that.